Greetings, fellow gardeners. Matt Leja here with Maple Grove Productions. Wanted to bring you an update. It's been a few weeks now, almost a month, since I've made an update on our farm and our garden, so that's what I'm bringing you. First of all, I wanted to show you something I've come up with. I'm sure I'm not the first one to come up with this, but a spray. The deer and horse flies have been brutal around here, so we just can't get any relief. Mosquitoes have kind of died down a little bit, but these deer flies, up until today, I don't know what the difference is with today versus the last few weeks, but man, finally we get some relief today. They're not buzzing around my head. I don't have 10 of them flying around me like I normally would. So all I've done here is made a little concoction with eucalyptus oil, lemon eucalyptus actually, neem oil, and I just added a little bit of apple cider vinegar, probably 3 or 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and the rest is just water. The exact amount I put in there, I just kind of threw some in, so I can't tell you the exact amount, but I would start with maybe 10 parts water, 1 part of each neem oil, lemon eucalyptus, and the apple cider vinegar. Of course, you can add one ingredient versus the other, whichever you find is more effective. This is my first time using this particular concoction, but the neem oil and the lemon eucalyptus oil alone were actually very good. So try that and let me know how it works. I've also been experimenting with that on my dog because she's getting harassed by those deer and horse flies as well, and mosquitoes. So far so good. And from my research, I found that it was safe for dogs, not so much cats, but those ingredients were safe for dogs. If you have information that says otherwise, or if you have a better spray that you use on your animals, please let me know. I would love to hear what you guys use to keep insects from ravaging your pets. But yeah, so nice to have some relief from the bugs. You got to take it in when it happens because man, they're just rough. So we've done a lot. It doesn't feel like we've done a lot, but we have. When I step back and actually look at it and marvel at the hard work. Since I last updated, I think the last thing that I shared with you guys was that my garden was kind of stunted and all the plants were really struggling. But it could just be this condition. It could be this environment. There's a lot of factors at play. It's a first-year garden. And so anyway, instead of stacking one garden against the other, I'm going to just bring you what I've been able to do here with my family and what we've accomplished. And I'm still damn proud of what we've done so far. We've had some issues with pests. I've determined that the top 3 pests that we're experiencing, which is what you have to do. You have to really figure this stuff out. Slugs, number 1. Those little tiny white moths is another. And actually, some of the holes in the leaves you wouldn't believe, but after doing some research and watching my garden, birds. Birds will come along, especially for this right here. Let me show you. These right here, I'm pretty sure that was birds that did that. This is my horseradish. It's got some kind of spot thing going on here, which I'm not liking. Those kind of look like bites too, so maybe, you know what? I take it back, my friends, In just examining today, these spots weren't here last time, so now I'm going to change my mind on that. That looks like it's some kind of insect or some kind of disease because, take a look at that. I noticed there's some ants crawling on there, but I wouldn't think ants would make that kind of damage, but I could be wrong. I need to research this some more. I was convinced that it was birds because I saw evidence on other people's channels where it was just like this, where there was holes like that, but there weren't really any marks, any little dots anywhere. The birds were coming along and they were eating the leaves, which didn't really hurt the plant. The birds leave fertilizer as well, but I'm going to have to change my stance on that one because that looks like something else is going on. Anyway, the Jerusalem artichoke is doing quite well. Of course, I knew it would because it just thrives in this climate, this area especially. That thing also is going to take over. The roots are going to just consume this thing, so hopefully it gets along with the horseradish. But those two are doing okay. I mean, this one I'm going to have to try and fix and figure out what's going on, but I knew the artichoke would be fine. This actually was a nice surprise. I was so happy to see this thing come back. If you guys saw in some of my previous videos, The basil was struggling. It was yellow, like kind of like these here, but even more so. So I don't know if it just needed, I don't know, it needed something. More light, more water, less water, who knows. It got what it needed though, and it's coming back, so I'm really happy about that, and it tastes great. There's a little bit of wilting going on here, so it might be lacking water. Or hopefully that's not disease also. So it looks like we're going to have to put some DE on this one. Looks like Ange might have already tried. Looks like it has powder on there, unless that's powdery mildew. I don't know. I don't know enough about this stuff to tell you guys yet. But this thing is struggling. This is the arugula, and it's just getting ravaged. There's another one that I need to look into, and guess what? There's another ant. So, might be that. I thought ants were beneficial and they were pollinators, but you know, if they're going to destroy my plants, at least leave some behind. Don't go around like taking little bites everywhere like that. Like, look at this. I'm afraid that it's all going to end up like this. That's not good. But anyway, moving on. That's another one I'll have to solve the mystery on. Look at the lavender. The lavender is just beautiful. Look at that. That won't take long to get very big. Oh, it smells so great. I didn't remember what kind of lavender it was. Grosso. Yeah, that's right. Grosso lavender. It smells different than other lavenders. The parsley. This is either parsley or cilantro. I'm pretty sure it's parsley. On one of my first videos, I think it was episode 4 or 5, I forget, but I misidentified a lot of plants, so I apologize for that, my friends. I'm still learning, very much so. I'm still a student of nature, still studying, still trying to understand, and understanding also that I'll never know everything fully, so just trying to take it all in. Use the experience to improve things. So here's the broccoli, which is doing good. It recovered. It's getting eaten by something, birds or insects, but it's still finding its way to survive. Doing well. And same over here. No heads on that one yet, unless it got eaten. Sun's just going down, so I'm going to have to water there soon too. And the cauliflower is looking a little strange. I've never grown a cauliflower before, but it looks cool. If anything, it's a cool looking plant, and you know what? It's more resistant than the broccoli is. There's a channel out there, I can't remember the guy's name, I'm so sorry, it's Stefan something in Quebec, and I just love the way that he's got his food forest set up, and he says to get right in there with your plants and get down to ground level and just really examine your plants. And oh, look at this. What do we got here? I felt the back of the leaf and I was like, oh, is that a slug? It's a caterpillar. So we might have just identified another, or maybe that's the one that I've been looking for, another ravager of the plants right here, probably. Look at this guy. He's just chilling for now. You know what? I'm going to take him off. I don't want you around, my friend. It's hard to get it to focus on whatever it is, but not sure what it is, guys. But I'll bet you that's what's been eating. I mean, look at this thing. You know? So we've also been attracting frogs and toads to our garden. Any under here today? Not that I can see, but they bury themselves in the wood chips, so frogs and toads will definitely help with the bug situation. The Brussels sprouts are not doing that great. They're not getting big. They're one of the plants that's stunted, as well as the kale over there, not doing that great. Broccoli and cauliflower are doing mediocre, but these guys right here are struggling, and I have a feeling it might be that caterpillar or whatever those things are. I should go around and check every single leaf. Probably do after I'm done making this video. And then here, I don't know if you guys saw that, but there were little tiny flies on there. They could be laying eggs or something. There's one right there. Anyway, there's the celery. Celery is doing all right, but ooh, this as well has little specks on it. That's not good. Alright, well, I have a lot of reading to do then, my friends, because I'm not just gonna let my plants get destroyed by some kind of disease, or, I mean, if it's disease, there's nothing I can do, but if it's a bug, I can fight it, or I can at least balance the ecosystem is more the proper way to think about it. But here are the yellow Spanish onions, and they're doing okay. Red Spanish onions over there too. They're doing okay. They're actually doing better than the yellow ones. Radishes are, wow, this is new. So this is also getting eaten or destroyed by something. We've also had a lot of heat and a lot of really muggy days, super humid and insanely hot heat wave with no rain. So that's another reason why these plants are struggling. Just a bunch of things. It was like the perfect storm for not doing well this year for us. But, you know, if we get even just a small yield out of this, I'll be happy. And actually, I see some nice stuff over there, so let's get to that. Carrots are doing okay. They're coming along. They're struggling too. They're just starting to grow over here and here. Nothing on this row for some reason. Very strange. I'll have to examine the soil. And is actually rebuilding the beds. And this one you can tell has been rebuilt because the wood chips are stacked all the way to the top. There was more fertilizer and more dirt added. So this is going to be one of the good beds. They're all good beds, but I mean, this is going to be one of the more productive beds, if you will. So this pepper has been eaten by something, but I don't know what kind of animal it was. Look at the little peppers growing on this. That one suffering, struggling. My poor habanero, which I've been meaning to put in a pot to just get it out of here, because it just keeps getting eaten. Every time a leaf comes out, a new leaf comes out, it gets eaten. But it's finding a way. It's finding a way to survive. Maybe whatever is eating it finally realized, like, whew, this is spicy. Got some flowers coming in here. Yeah. But these peppers, I gotta go on the other side, check this out. Tomatoes are doing okay. This variety especially is doing well. I gotta come around and prune these, which is what I'm gonna do after. But look at this. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that or not, but it's a weird shape. That too. It's just very strange. And I don't know how big these are supposed to get, so I'm not sure like how well they're doing, but they look strange. They look very strange. Let's look at the picture and see. Oh, okay, they're actually supposed to look like that. That's good. That's good then. Maybe I'll try those. I'm not really a big tomato fan, but these are Tyran Italian tomatoes, so sounds good. Sounds tasty. That's the same thing there. So those are doing good. Those Italian tomatoes are doing very good. They're probably used to growing in way harsher conditions than this. But yeah, I need to prune these. These are different kinds of tomatoes. These are the pear tomatoes. So these are a different shape than the other ones. These are more pear-shaped, obviously. Yeah, those poor peppers. But look at this one. This one from the beginning, it just found a good spot. I don't know what happened, but this one just took over. Pretty and sweet pepper. We got to get more of these. That's a good pepper because look at it. That's producing more than any other pepper. It's like weeks ahead. Nice looking peppers, and it looks like they might be all kinds of different. Is that possible? All kinds of different colors, or maybe it depends on when you pick them. I have no idea. I don't really know very much about peppers, actually. All I know is I like them. The hot peppers especially. But I'm definitely going to eat those. Moving on to this bed over here. Now look at these tomatoes. Not doing that well. And why? You know, this is one of the beds, because they weren't doing so well, this is one of the beds that we fixed. So Ange went and added fertilizer and dirt and more wood chips to these guys. But yet somehow they're not really growing that much. They're all stunted. They're all dwarf plants almost. I don't know if I mentioned it or not last time, but we discovered that, well, two things about the water. Iron is fine. Iron will actually help the garden in some ways, as well as the sulfur, believe it or not. Not sure how that works. I didn't really catch that, but it's not a bad thing. So we don't have to worry about that. We can use ground well water. There's no issue there, but it could change the pH of the water. That's the only thing. So some plants may like it more than others. That could also explain, a part of why we're having, some issues this year. So cucumbers still having a hard time. They're growing new leaves. They're not dying or anything, but just really having a hard time. Even over there, still struggling. This guy here, to be honest with you, I'm not even sure what it is. This looks like it might be some kind of herb or something. I'm not even sure. I'll have to let you guys know next time. I totally forgot what that one is. It might be something that I planted that doesn't actually belong here, just to get it in the ground. Oh, and these are, just to let you know, they are straight 8 cucumbers. So maybe there's another kind of cucumber that would do better. This is a hole that I dug actually to inspect my soil. And one thing I noticed when I got in there was that the cardboard was actually very stiff. It hadn't broken down very much. So see, there's actually a piece of it. So it's still very hard for the water to get through. So we had a lot of pooling. That was the other thing I was going to say about the water. We had a lot of pooling going on. So I had to stop watering for a couple days and just let it dry out. But it didn't take much. It's a very delicate dance because you're trying to give it just enough water, but then a heat wave comes around and you have to give it more water, but you don't know how much, so then you almost give it too much. And yeah, so it's a really delicate process, learning when a plant needs water and when it doesn't. But ultimately, like Stefan and JP and stuff, all the guys I watch on YouTube, it should really be low maintenance after a while, because if it's not, then you haven't set it up right. Nature doesn't need your help in order to exist. You're just kind of orchestrating it. That's the whole point of this series, is orchestrating nature. It's just leading it a certain way. We're not creating the music, we're just making sure it gets done right. That's what I'm trying to do. And here we have a zucchini coming out. Yellow zucchini. Not sure the type, and there's no tag here that I can see. So it's cool that we actually have one coming out. It's nice to see a vegetable producing. And then finally out front we have our different kinds of lettuce. The red leaf lettuce and the other kind, green. Not sure the types. Again, I'll have to update that in future videos, but this is doing alright. It's doing okay. It was getting eaten at first, but now it's doing okay. This one too is starting to finally make a comeback, but still growing very slowly. This would be enough to come by and have a little salad. So that's it for the beds. Now over here, we've got some more cucumbers that are also struggling. We've got a couple pumpkins that are doing... Oh, we've got an animal in here. Not sure what it is. Probably some kind of rodent. This could be another animal that's been ravaging the garden, so we'll have to see. Oh, it's a chipmunk. He just stuck his head out of the hole. You know what, dude? You can have it. Okay? Just try to leave me some. Leave me a couple fruits and veggies, okay? And we're cool. Alright? Alright. Cool. So, yeah. That one actually, that cucumber's doing alright. Not fantastic. Pumpkins are going to take a while no matter what. And there's the chipmunk again. What's up, dude? How's it going? It's Alvin. I call him Alvin. So, we'll leave Alvin do his thing. Almost forgot to talk about this area. So, over here the bushes are doing okay. This one's a little funny. I think the positioning on that was off when we planted them, but my fault on that. Hopefully they'll fill out a little bit and shape up, because they're on a weird angle. But anyway, if we look down over here, we've got some new additions to the front yard. Got some echinaceas, one that's doing all right, and the other one that's not doing so well. So funny enough, when we bought these, we bought them at the same time. And the one on the left is a white echinacea, and it's doing fine. It's had some struggles because of all the heat. But as you can see, it's starting to grow another flower here, and that flower is holding on so far. Leaves are a little bit yellow, and it's clearly struggling, but at least it's alive. Whereas this one, not too much going on here. Dry as ever. All the leaves have crumbled up and fallen on the ground, and while there are some new leaves coming up at the bottom, some of them are also crumbling. So I don't know. I don't have much hope for this thing, but you never know. It could make a comeback. It's due for some water anyway. I'll have to come by and just clean this up a little bit. Not sure how to care for these things properly, so maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Don't know. Should probably find out. But the bouquet that you saw at the beginning of the video, this is where it comes from. I had to trim those back a little bit, so I thought, why not just make a nice bouquet, put it in the house. Let's move on to the backyard. Orange tree making a comeback. Peanut doing okay. Getting a little hot, getting a little eaten, but for the most part, doing all right. Got a little flower going on down there. Got a little flower. Nice. We had an accident here where Leah actually ate the raspberries. They were doing quite well. It was a pretty rough day. I tried to replant pieces of them down there, but I don't think nothing's going to happen. She chewed them up really good. So that's not going to come back. And we got our blueberry there that was going to go in here, but instead of putting it here, we're actually going to put more raspberries here since they were doing so well. And here are the rocks that I've been moving from the quarry. And we're actually going to put our blueberries here. I thought about it the other day and I'm like, why not? This thing is probably just acidic enough with all the wood chips. This pile has been sitting here for 2-3 years probably. And why not use this spot? It's already set up. So that's what we're going to do for this part here with the blueberries. And we'll probably put a pine in there at some point. Maybe in the middle. Get some pine nuts going. They love the same kind of soil apparently. So that's what I'm going to do. This garden is doing okay. The peppers are looking alright. They're starting to get red, which is making me happy. This pepper is starting to fruit, but it's also wilting at the top. So it looks thirsty, even though it's slightly moist. Could probably use some additional watering. This is rosemary, I believe. Oh yeah, that smells great. So that thing's doing good. Looks like I found the deer flies also. So I'll quickly show you guys. The ground cherries are doing very well. So that's exciting. Strawberries are doing well. Some of them, not so much. But these are wild strawberries. Some of them, these ones here are, I believe. And the darker ones are not. But we have no shortage of strawberries here. And look at this. Oh my goodness. A blueberry. Dare I eat it? Oh my gosh. It's not ready to come off, but wow, we have a blueberry. And it looks delicious. That's exciting, even though this plant didn't get very much bigger than when we got it. It's already fruiting, so that's great. Some of the first fruit coming out of our garden. How exciting. So this is either some type of mold or perhaps Ange has tried to put some DE on this, so I probably shouldn't be wiping it off. But there's another blueberry patch that might not even fruit this year, but we'll see. Some more strawberries. There is our other blueberry. And more strawberries. Yeah, this mosquito spray is not working that great. We're going to move this tree, so might actually put that over there. Wouldn't that make sense? Right smack dab in the middle. I'm actually going to bring that up and see. Although it's going to get very big, so we'll have to make sure that we trim the bottom and those blueberries get just enough sun where they can thrive under there. So that's pretty much it, my friends. The only other thing I can show you, which is doing quite well, of course, as you would expect, is the mint. We've got 3 different kinds of mint here. We've got the millet? Is it millet? Millet? Ooh, lots of bugs here, so we'll have to hurry up. Yeah, we got the mint over here. Not sure what kind of mint it is, but we've got that mint. We've got this mint, which is starting to flower. See that? It's Very nice. And there's also some chocolate mint around here somewhere. Right here. Chocolate mint. So that's it for today, my friends. Thanks for joining me and tuning in. Hope your garden's going well and that your season is doing well this year. And keep us posted. Ours is, as you can see, it's not that bad. I started to lose hope at first, but never lose hope, my friends. Never lose hope. Your garden will always make a comeback as long as you put that energy and love into it. Everything will work out in the end. So we might not have a great season this year, but we'll have a better one next year, and we'll have a better one the year after that. So that's all you can do. You got to start somewhere. So lessons learned, and it's been fun. And I'm going to keep doing it. I hope you keep doing it. And tune in next time for another update in the Maple Grove Production Gardening Series. Take care. Bye-bye.